What's going on, guys? This is JT. That's at the Almighty JT. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about how to not lose money in the stock market. So let me be clear, I'm not talking about ways to make money. I've already got a few other videos talking about ways to make money that you can look at. But knowing how to make money is really only half the battle, right? Because you might know how to make $1,000 in the stock market, but if you don't know how to actually protect that $1,000 after you've made it, you're probably going to end up losing that and a lot more. So knowing how to not lose money is just as important, if not even more important, than knowing how to make money. So I'm going to be talking about things like risk management, position sizing, stop losses, and just some different ways that you can make sure you're not only knowing how to make money, but knowing how to keep that money and not lose it after you've made it. So let's get into it. So first, I want to talk about creating a risk management strategy. So your risk management strategy is going to be built up of three different things. The first is your starting capital. So that's what you can actually put into the market and start with. The next is going to be your end goal. So where you're trying to get to from where you started. And the third is going to be how much you can actually afford to lose out of that starting capital. So what you need to understand about risk management and building your strategy is that it has to be unique for you. You can't copy and paste somebody else's risk management strategy because we all have different starting amounts. We all have different end goals. We have, different bills, different expenses. Just we all live differently when it comes to finances, right? So your risk management strategy needs to be one that you create and that you build on your own, that's unique to you as an individual. So one thing that I tell every single person that wants to start trading is you should never start trading with money that you need, right? In other words, you don't want to be trading with money that you need to pay the rent. You don't want to be trading with money that you need to pay the groceries, the gas bill, because when you're trading with the rent money or the grocery money, whatever, you come into the market with the mindset of, okay, I have to make these flips. I have to be successful. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to pay rent or I'm not going to be able to eat. And since mentality is such a big part of trading, if you come into the market with that mentality already, that means you already lost because you're not really playing to win. You're just kind of playing not to lose, and you're going to be second guessing a lot of things just because you know if you don't hit, you won't be able to have a place to live or you won't be able to eat, right? The general rule to follow is have at least 3 months worth of expenses saved before you even start trading, right? So you don't want to be trading on your last dollar. Once you already have that kind of cushion to be able to take care of expenses if things don't work out, then you can come into the market with a clear mentality and it will be a lot easier for you to be successful as a trader. So after you've got a stash and you've got a few months worth of expenses put away, the next thing that you need to ask yourself is how much money can I afford to lose? And you really need to be honest with yourself when you ask that question, because a lot of traders are not honest, and that's a mistake. Basically, they'll say, I'm going to put this much money in the market, and if I lose it all and everything goes to zero, that's okay, I'll be fine. And then they do end up losing it all, and they start panicking, they start freaking out, they get all discombobulated, and they're not okay like they said they were. Usually it's because they didn't actually expect to lose it all. So they weren't honest with themselves about their risk management. And this kind of goes beyond just being able to afford groceries and afford rent low. So you might be able to lose the money that you put in and not jeopardize your financial well-being, but you got to ask yourself, are you going to be okay mentally, right? Because your mental is such a big part of trading, and you have to really kind of visualize yourself seeing negative 100, negative 1,000, negative 10,000, whatever amount you start with. Really put yourself in a position where you can visualize losing that and ask yourself, are you going to be okay mentally? Because, it can really kind of discourage you and mess up your mental just to see those big losses on your account, especially if you weren't honest with yourself. So honesty is a huge part of building your risk management strategy, especially when it comes to figuring out how much you can actually lose. Okay, so the last step of building your risk management strategy is going to be figuring out your goals. So where you want to get to from where you're at. And this is one where it's super important to make sure you're sticking to what works for you, because different people are going to have different goals, right? Some people might have conservative goals. Some people might have aggressive goals. For example, say there's one person that has a $5,000 starting amount and they want to turn that $5,000 into $10,000 in 1 year. Now, that's possible, absolutely, doubling a trading account in 1 year. And because you're giving yourself that much time, it's going to allow you to be conservative, right? You're not even going to have to make a trade every single day. Say there's another person that has a $5,000 starting amount and they want to turn that into $50,000 in 1 month. Now, that's definitely possible too. I've seen people do way crazier things than that. You just got to understand that that's going to be a lot more risky. You're going to be making more trades. You're going to be risking lots of money at one time. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as it works for you, right? So you can be risky, you can be conservative as long as it's within your own risk management strategy. And it's super important to make sure that once you have your risk management strategy defined, that you're sticking to it every single day. Because you might be a conservative trader, you have conservative goals, but you get on social media every day and you see people making $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, and you think, damn, I want to be able to make that money that they're making. So you break away from your risk management strategy because you have FOMO, fear of missing out, and now you start chasing trades and making a bunch of moves that are not in line with your risk management tolerance, and you end up losing big. So you got to really be able to lock in on your risk management strategy, and just keep in mind that when you see other people making more money than you got to understand that these people have their own risk management strategy that works for them. Maybe they're just in a position where they can take bigger risks. So for me, I'm someone that's young. I don't have any kids. I'm not married. I have expenses, but I'm able to take bigger risks just because of the position that I'm at in life. So I feel like now is the time for me to take risks. Whereas someone who maybe they have a few kids, maybe they have a family member in the hospital, they have, different bills, just different financial situations. So, me and that person, we're not going to be making the same type of trade. You don't want to be distracted by what other people are doing once you have that risk management strategy defined. You got to stick to it. I cannot stress that enough. The last thing that I want to share with y'all, because I emphasize sticking to your strategy so much, I'm going to tell you what really helped me stick to mine, and that's actually writing it down and having it visible while you're trading. So you can write it on a sticky note and stick it to your laptop that you trade off of. You can write it down on a whiteboard in your room. You can write it down on a piece of notebook paper and put it beside your screen. It really doesn't matter. As long as you have it visible somewhere as a reference where you can look and it's always going to be there, that will be huge for you. I promise. A lot of people I've told to do this tell me ever since they started actually writing it down, they have not broke their strategy once. So again, I'm not going to be able to tell you exactly how to build your strategy. Really, nobody can. That's up for y'all to figure out. I just wanted to give you the pieces that you need, but it's still going to be up to you to put the pieces together from there. So I hope this video has been helpful. I'm definitely going to come a lot harder with the YouTube content. I don't have a whole lot of content yet, but I see that I've been getting some new subscribers, so I'm definitely going to keep dropping some more content for y'all. I really appreciate the support. I want to take a second to talk about my services. So I have a trading group that I've been running for about 3 years now. It's called Impact Investments. We live trade every day of the week. We teach classes multiple times a week. We have a bunch of different resources, really everything you need to go from a beginner to a pro with your trading knowledge. Like I said, I've been running that for about 3 years. I also have an options flow service. It's called Capital Flow. So what Capital Flow does is it tracks orders in the stock market from banks, hedge funds, wealthy individuals, anybody that just has a real big bag to play with, talking millions and millions of dollars. And it sends that to the user in real time. So you can do what's called following the smart money and then get paid that way. Definitely a game changer. I have a video that I dropped on Capital Flow too. So go ahead and check that out. Options Flow is definitely a game changer. Makes it super easy to make bread in the stock market. So those are the services that I offer. Again, I'm on all social medias at The Almighty JT. Go ahead and follow me. Subscribe if you like the video and you're not already a subscriber. Like I said, I'm really about to start putting out a lot more YouTube content because I'm getting new subscribers and I really appreciate y'all. So I'm going to head and sign off right now. Peace.